Welcome to today's morning power-up call. It's going to be a good one. It's good to have you guys here. I'm going to keep an eye on the chats. If the lag gets bad or the audio gets bad, let me know, and I'll hop off and we'll do this. I'll record this message and give it to you guys because it's going to be an important one. Some of you guys might have noticed there's been some massive updates inside of the channel. If you're not checking the announcements channel every single day, you're going to miss these kind of updates. And the problem with missing updates is you're going to miss the newest, the latest, the greatest tech, the greatest tactics that you can use to get the results that you want. So you guys should be checking it every single day. So if you're not, start checking it, right? So yesterday I uploaded all of the new step 3 content. So everything about partnering with businesses has been completely refilmed, uploaded. We've got new missions, we've got a new strategy. It's all there and it's completely different. And I say it's completely different. If we rewind back to the early days when I recommended Streak and different, email testing strategies and stuff, that has been removed. And the newest, latest, and greatest, what's working actually right now is what is inside of that. So no matter where you are, no matter how many clients you have, I mean, the only people who shouldn't worry about watching that now are the people who have just started and are on like the step 1 or step 2 content inside of the boot camp. But if you were in step 3 or you had finished the boot camp, you need to go back and rewatch these new videos. There's about 40 of them. They're pretty short. They're all under like 3 minutes long. But you should go back and watch this because I lay out the process much more clearly, much more beneficially, and in a way that is actually going to help you guys get results faster in today's world. So, looks like audio is good. Looks like everything's good. We've talked about the announcements. I want to talk about the principle of antifragility. Now, this is a concept that is going to be crucial to you, especially as the world becomes more uncertain and more random. Now, a lot of people, when they hear about uncertainty and randomness in the world, they get afraid. They're worried about change because change is bad. I'm here to tell you, my friends, that the winners, the people at the very top, they love change. They love randomness. They love unpredictability because it actually makes them stronger. And I'm going to tell you why and how you can start to adopt these ideas into your life. Now, let's dive in. A long time ago, there was a geek named Taleb, Nicholas or something, Nassim Nicholas Taleb or something like that. And he wrote this book. And I say he was a geek because eventually this guy turned out to be afraid of like air. He was afraid to breathe air in front of people. So he turned out to be one of those guys. But he was an intellectual that talked about a principle that I have seen applied by all the top performers that I've ever encountered in my life. And it's something I seek to emulate from these people. Now, I'm going to use the way that he described it to help you understand it. And then I'm going to hold up a few examples of absolute G's who use and live by this principle. So this guy, this Taleb guy, he came up with this idea of anti-fragile. He said, so if you take like a glass, like a piece of glass, and you drop it, it shatters, right? That's fragile. Now, if you're asked to come up with what the opposite of fragile is, a lot of people would say robust. You drop something and it doesn't break. But his whole contest was that there's actually a true opposite of fragility, and that's anti-fragility, meaning that if you drop it, it actually gets stronger, right? So if instead of glass that you drop and it shatters, instead of dropping it and it's completely fine, you drop it and it gets harder and stronger and more valuable over time, right? The idea that there are some things in this world that when stressors or challenges or obstacles happen, it actually makes them stronger, right? They improve because of the stress that they've been exposed to and the changes that they've experienced rather than breaking from them, right? Most people in the world are extremely fragile, right? They don't have a lot of options in life. They don't have a lot of capacity. And change happens and they break down. Oh no, the economic downturn, this happens, that happens. And because of how they've structured their life and because of how they've structured their mind, more importantly, these bad things happen to them and they break. They become weaker from them, right? They get a divorce and they fall apart, just die, right? For example, as one example, right? Whereas there are other people who have structured their life and their mindset in a way that when bad things happen, when changes happen, when Andrew updates new content in the bootcamp, for example, instead of breaking, instead of getting overwhelmed, they embrace it. They realize that the change is an opportunity for them to improve, right? All change, all chaos is actually just opportunity disguised, right? And if you shift your focus in life to view change and difficulty and challenges as an obstacle that you can push yourself against that will make you stronger and give you a better outcome, then you're going to win. Whereas people who don't and try and like protect themselves from difficult things, they fall apart when eventually they can't protect themselves from difficult things anymore. So while it is better to be robust, that is, you don't break when bad things happen, it's even better to become the kind of person. When change happens, when obstacles happen, you lean into it and you become better as a result of it, right? That's the idea in a nutshell. Now there are different cultures over time who were really good at being anti-fragile, like the Vikings. They were decentralized. They could go. They could think that they could get attacked, and they turn around and raid them back. Like they were designed in a way that when bad things happened or things changed, their conditions changed, they were adaptable. They could take the changes and run with them and be successful. There's a huge benefit from that. Whereas, let's say like a farming society, they're very fragile. The weather changes and boom, they're dead. They starve to death, right? Or the Vikings show up and they die instead of getting richer, right? Now, your body is by definition or an anti-fragile system in a lot of ways. When you look at your muscles, your muscular development, the more stress you put your muscles under, up to a point, the stronger they get, the more they adapt. That's why you train to failure. That's why I tell you to do push-ups inside the program. That's why the harder you train, the better you get, right? The stronger you get. It's not the other way around. It's not like the more you train, the weaker you get. The more you train, the stronger you get. The more intensity that you can train with, the more intense your development. It's an example of an anti-fragile system. So if you want to maximize the benefit of that system, you want to put yourself through as much physical stress as possible so you can gain as much physical strength as possible, right, to adapt to that. And it's interesting, right, it over-adapts. Let's say you lift 100 kilograms, your body prepares you to be able to lift 110 kilograms, for example. That's a really good example of an anti-fragile system. Now, you need to set your mindset up to become anti-fragile. You need to start seeking stresses in your life, challenges, opportunities, new things in your life, and throwing yourself at them so that you can become stronger on the other end. If you try and protect yourself from changes and freak out when change happens, you're going to lose in the long term because the world is a constantly shifting environment. You need to be able to seek out challenges, chase them down, and throw yourself at them because they'll make you stronger. Now, there is a really good example of this recently. Our good friend Andrew just got out of prison, right? And you can see his physical and mental development. He went through hell in prison. It was difficult. But you can watch the video of him walking in his living room and you can say, he got stronger as a result of this challenge, right? That is what you should be emulating, right? Whereas a geek like Taleb, maybe he could talk about this principle. Tate is someone who lived this principle, for example. And you can too. I can too. We all can. I do as well. It's something I seek out. I remember when I was a young Mormon missionary, I heard this guy give a talk about this dude who had prayed to God for a mountain to climb. He wanted a challenge. He wanted God to give him a difficult trial so he could get stronger, right? And I was a young missionary, young and excitable, and I was like, that sounds like a good idea. I'm going to do it. The guy that talks like, don't do it because it definitely works, right? So I did it, right? I went home, prayed, hey, dear Heavenly Father, give me a difficult challenge. Give me a mountain to climb. I want to grow. Give me something difficult. Sure enough, boom, something popped up in my life, a challenge, a situation that was unlike anything I'd ever dealt with before. It was extremely difficult. It was a strong stressor. It was rough, but I came out the other side stronger and more capable, and I massively improved. I thought, this is pretty cool. So I did it again. I prayed for another challenge. Boom, got another challenge. I swooped in. It was difficult. Oh, man. Grew a lot. It was wonderful. I did this process twice. And then I thought, I was like, you know what? I remember praying and talking to the big man upstairs. I was like, listen, this has been cool and all, like you sending me challenges. But I was like, I'm just going to do this forever. I'm going to seek out challenges, and I'm going to find ways to make them stronger. So just give me opportunities to seek out challenges and new hard things to throw myself at, and I'll do it. I'm your guy. And I've made that a core part of how I live. I seek out difficult challenges and I throw myself at them. And the more I've done that, the stronger I get. And I continually do this. And I want you guys to adopt the same principles in your life. I want you to seek out difficulty, seek out challenges, seek out rewarding obstacles, and throw yourself at them because that is the only way to grow and improve. It's either that or become fragile or run away from challenges and difficulty and hide and eventually get broken by someone like me who can just plow through difficulty and challenges and get stronger on the other side. That's what you should be looking for. That's what you should be seeking to adopt in your life. Become anti-fragile or you will be crushed by the randomness of the world. The great thing about being anti-fragile is if the economy tanks or something shifts inside the world or something changes, you smile when it happens because you know what? That's going to make me better. I'm going to find a way to win because of this change, because of this difficulty. That's what you need to adopt. So my friends, keep this idea, use it inside of your brain. This is going to be added into the how to use your time and brain section of the campus because this is a valuable principle. It is something you need to change in how you live because most of you show up in this world fragile. Oh no, the campus has changed. The boot camp has changed. I can't find my place. Become stronger than that. Become stronger to where you are not only, change doesn't hurt you, you're robust, but you actually say, Cool, he updated the boot camp. Here's a challenge for me to find my spot and get better because of it. Find ways to lean into challenges and changes and chaos and unpredictability and make them your ally. Make it something that makes you stronger. My friends, it's been a good call. I will talk with you guys again tomorrow. Let's go out. Let's get it. Talk to you guys then.